couple of years ago, I reviewed the Island Armory 22 TCM. Just an incredible, fun shooting pistol. In fact, it's called the 22 Micro-Mag because this bullet hauls out of this barrel at just under 2,000 feet per second. So Island Armory has continued to develop their 22 TCM series, and the low recoil, the accuracy, the round count of this pistol is just phenomenal. But this is a really large pistol. And so the guys at Island Armory got busy. Now, I've really been looking forward to the single stack models of these. Namely, the billboard on the side of the slide. They removed it to place a small little laser etched image right here with Island Armory. The grips are incredible. These are VZ G10 grips. The magazines that they're using now are stainless steel magazines with a polymer base pad. They hold 10 rounds of 9mm or the 22 TCM. And pulling the slide back is just easy. It's slick. Anyone can do it, even with limited hand strength. And both of these guns are unloaded. And as you can see, they're making the full-size government model with the 5-inch barrel. They're making the commander size with the 4 1/4-inch barrel. Makes it somewhat more compact with the thin single stack design. It's really nice and just your standard 1911 profile. But there are a lot of cool features about these two guns that we're going to look at. But first, I want to talk about the caliber. Now, Fred Craig, which is a caliber designer, developed the 22 TCM from the 5.56 or the 223 case. He needed really a platform to be able to develop this cartridge further. And so Demetrio Towson, who the Towson family has owned Island Armory since 1941. Now Martin Towson is heading things up, and he is really helping to push and develop this new caliber into these pistols. Really, the Towson family has really taken the Island Armory name to where it is and the quality that stands behind this this whole line of pistols. And then, of course, developing this unique caliber. That's one of the things that TCM stands for, is Towson Craig Micro-Mag. The parent case was the 223 rifled case, and it was cut and neck down into this configuration. It has a 40 grain bullet. All the different dimensions here were very similar. But also, the 9mm is very similar here at the base case to the 223 or the 5.56. There's just a little bit of some differences. With that, the 22 TCM was developed to fit both 9mm and 22 TCM extractors. So the cases down here are more similar. A little thin right here at the lip. Armscore makes all the 22 TCM, but they also make a number of other ammunitions, including this 9mm. Now here we have 22 long rifle, 380 ACP, 22 TCM, and 9mm. The 22 long rifle is about 1,060 feet per second. It's 99 foot-pounds, so it's pretty low, 40 grain bullet. Here we have the 380 ACP. It's going at 950 feet per second and 190 foot-pounds of pressure, 95 grain bullet. 40 grain bullet going at 1,875 feet per second with 312 pounds of energy. That's over 125 pounds of energy at the muzzle over the 380. And then the 9mm, it's 1,300 feet per second. Muzzle energy is 420 foot-pounds. And it's a 115 grain bullet. The 9mm is definitely going to give you a little bit more superiority in ballistics, but the 22 TCM is going to give you better than even the 380, which a lot of people consider a minimal self-defense round, but that brings the 22 TCM into a higher ballistic category. This is definitely designed for a self-defense role. It does come with 2 stainless steel magazines, comes with a 9mm barrel and recoil spring, and then your pistol with a lot of cool features. And I'm going to go through some of these features because one of the things about a 1911, you can get a basic 1911 just like the old GI model. It's just plain Jane. When you start to add a lot of custom features to these guns, the price starts to go up. If you take a Wilson Combat that has all the things done to it, they can run $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And then you can have your budget basement 1911s, you know, that are in the around $500 range. We're going to look at some of the things that Island Armory has done to this pistol to make it really, to me, a budget price, but an exceptional performing 1911. The parkerized finish on here is exceptionally well done. I mean, everything is really smooth. Just has a really solid look to it. Again, they've taken the big Island Armory and put it back here, which makes it really nice. Standard slide serrations. The VZ grips really stand out on these pistols, and VZ does a great job. I have a number of VZ grips for different pistols, and it has the right amount of texturing and yet not too aggressive, and it has this thumb right here, this thumb rest, that makes it really nice to be able to get in your hand. The beaver tail is exceptional. A lot of the original GI models just have a nub right here with the grip safety. This really allows for you to bring this up and get it really high into your hand, helps you to get up on that pistol, and then you have a low bore axis. It brings that hand up closer to the bore, which really helps with felt recoil. Of course, with that you have your commander style hammer, which is really nice, and then it fits very nice into the beaver tail. Then on top you can see immediately the sights. These are exceptional 3-dot sights. These are adjustable in the rear, and then the front is a fiber optic sight, which really shows up well when you're at the range. Flat mainspring housing, well checkered. The front strap is also serrations, which really makes this great to be able to grip. Really, these are the two areas that you tend to put the pressure on the gun anyway. The grips themselves just give you a good platform to hold on to it. Skeletonized trigger that is adjustable, which is really nice. One thing too, they put ambidextrous paddles, safety paddles right here, and that's really nice, and it's not too extended. Some of them can be a little bit wide. These seem to be exceptionally well done, easy to maneuver. Everything just works on this gun. It's very smooth. There's no sticky points to it. One of the things too they've done this extra is this magazine well. This has been added. It really allows the magazines to go in really nice and quick. You don't have to think about it. With the original 1911s, it was a flat design, and you had to really hit it just right to get your magazines in. Of course, with the 5-inch government model, and then you have your 4¼ commander model. The barrels are forged, so it's going to really extend the life of the barrel. The ejection ports and everything have been extended out to allow for feeding of hollow point ammunition. The compact model is definitely a mirrored image from here back of the government size or the full size. Everything is the same with the safeties, with the beaver tail, the flat mainspring housing, the trigger. It just has all the same features that the large Big Brother has, just with a 3/4 inch shorter barrel. Even the sights are the same. So, you know, it goes a little bit more compact. I really enjoy shooting the Commander. In fact, I was really looking forward more to the Commander than the full-size government. But the larger pistol does give you more sight radius, and it is going to help somewhat with recoil with muzzle flip. Of course, the 5-inch barrel will be a little more pleasurable at the range, but it's definitely going to be harder to conceal carry. And with the Commander, it's going to definitely give you more possibilities and more options for that. But there are guys that will carry full-size 1911s. My frame's just not big enough for it. Now here I have the 9mm barrel in the compact version, and then the 22 TCM barrel. If you'll notice, these have been beveled, so they're crowned. And what that's going to do is really help. If anything's bumped against your barrel, it can affect accuracy. And this recesses it to keep that from happening. This is a really exceptional feature in itself, that they would crown those barrels. Here, with one of the barrels removed, you can see how that recesses in. Now these are steel frame pistols, and we're talking about 41 ounces on the full size and about 37 ounces on the Commander size. So it's got a lot of heft, but boy, I'll tell you what, when you're at the range, it just makes it beautiful. Great thing is too, with 1911 holsters and different accessories, you're going to be able to find a lot of things for these pistols. Now we're going to check the trigger pull on this pistol. I have to make sure that I engage my grip safety or it won't work. That's 4 pounds, 5.7 ounces. 4 pounds, 5.8 ounces. One of the beautiful things too about the 1911 is that when the trigger is pulled, it's a dead stop. There's no over travel. It's just dead still. That's one of the beautiful things. The 1911 is probably what most trigger pulls are based on as far as the best trigger pull. And of course these can be tuned to your liking. But this is really coming in with an excellent trigger pull. It's not gritty at all. It's really smooth. And at 4.5 pounds, that's really a joy to shoot. It's going to allow for really good accuracy. Now we're going to replace the 22 TCM barrel into the 9mm conversion that's in this TCM compact. This will also be the same thing you'll do to disassemble the pistol, so it's kind of a twofold effect. First thing, of course, is to make sure the gun isn't loaded, and it is. Now you want to make sure you keep your recoil springs in the correct orientation, keeping them with the barrel. It's a 9-pound spring for the 22 TCM. It's a 12-pound spring for your 9mm. Now this has the bushing design, but it does have a full-length guide rod. Now typically when you have a full-length guide rod, and here it is right here showing, it's a stainless steel rod, you have to put a little paper clip in here and hold it and do all this stuff. That's one of the cool things about this design. Now we're going to take a regular barrel bushing wrench and then just press down, and you want to push the bushing down and then turn clockwise. And this is going to turn your barrel bushing to the side, making sure when you let go you don't release it, because this is under spring tension, the plug. Now you take that barrel bushing and turn it to the other side, which allows for you to remove your barrel bushing. And there goes my plug, but there is the regular barrel bushing. Now your recoil spring plug has a hole in the end, and this allows for the full-length guide rod to move in and out, but it also allows this to be broken down in the traditional manner, which I really like. Now we're going to pull it over here to the side, and we're going to get it not in the slide release notch, but the little small notch right behind it. And then take your slide stop and push it out from this side, and then just pull it out. This will release your barrel. Okay, now we're going to pull the spring out. Again, keeping this separate with the correct barrel. And then we're going to release our full-length guide rod. This is really nice. Take the link on your barrel, push it down, and just the barrel comes out the front of the slide. Just like that. Look how polished that feed ramp is. I mean, that is exceptional. Barrel's very well done. Of course, it's fairly typical 1911 design on the pistol. Now we're going to take the 9mm barrel and 9mm recoil spring, and we're going to put it aside. And I like to keep this in a separate bag. Now we're going to install the 22 TCM barrel. Make sure the link is in the down position. Install your guide rod. Uses the same guide rod. Then take the coiled end of the spring and put it over the guide rod. And we're going to bring our link into the up position. We're going to need it in this position once we reassemble. Put the slide onto the frame. You need your barrel link to be in place, that when you put your slide stop in, it goes through the barrel link. I typically like to do that before I get this into the right position. Be careful when you're putting this in. You don't want to scratch the slide. And then you want to make sure that it's flush. If it's flush, you know that it's right. We're going to push the slide forward. On your barrel bushing, there is a little notch that actually fits down like this. It's the only way that it's going to fit on the slide. You have to have it in this position, in about the 4 o'clock position, and then you turn it. And that allows it to release it up into the 90-degree angle here. Take your bushing, put it into place, then just slide your barrel bushing on around, again using the tool. And you want that to click into place like it just did. Now we're going to try it. That is such a slick action. It is so light. I have found 22 TCM locally at a couple of different shops, but the easiest way probably to get it at this point is to order it. And everywhere I've seen, it's around the $18.50 range. and it's pretty much an average. There are some that are a little bit higher, but you know, that's not too bad. 37 cents a round. And then of course these dies are available to reload these as well. In fact, I saw a lot of sources where they had brass, just the TCM brass. And of course, if that's a problem, then just go ahead and jump on some 9mm and keep your gun running. But I think that this is not going to be difficult to find, and the more that they're putting out, which obviously with these new designs, which are very appealing, you know, it's going to make this even a more popular round. The recoil on this pistol is incredible. I mean, it just glides in your hand with a 22 TCM. You put the 9mm in there, it's still very functional. I mean, it's real easy, especially if you're used to shooting a 1911 with 45 ACP. The 9mm is really a lot easier. Then you go down to the 22, it's like really smooth. Now the 22 TCM is actually the height of a 38 Super, and that way they can use 38 Super magazines to accommodate both the 9mm and the 22 TCM. But one of the problems is going to be fitting this in a standard 9mm magazine. You're not going to be able to do it. So Armscor has come out with a TCM 9R, which actually brings the 22 TCM round down to meet with the 9mm size. And what that's going to do, you're still going to be able to fire your 22 TCM and your 9R in your 22 TCM pistol, but it's going to allow them to design, which they're going to hopefully release this summer, a conversion kit for your Glock and then other pistols coming. Guys, if you're a little concerned about the longevity of the 22 TCM or the availability of the ammunition, buy this as a 9mm and just take that 22 TCM barrel and spring as a bonus. Man, that really will make it sweet. Now, Rock Island Armory has a ton of different models of all kind of different calibers. In fact, their 10mm is my favorite 10mm pistol. But there are 9 different models of the 22 TCM. So you can go to us.armscor.com and they have this graph or chart of guns. It has all their 1911s laid out. Now, if you're going to the NRA show, that's a great place to get your hands on any of their models. And in fact, coming up, of course, this is 2015. We're going to be going to the NRA show in just another week or so. If you happen to be there, definitely stop by the Armscor booth at the Rock Island Armory and check out all their different pistols, but especially the 22 TCM. There's also a rifle that is produced. It's a bolt-action rifle with a 22 TCM that's really cool. And there are some other companies that are working and developing 22 TCM firearms. In fact, even an AR-15 conversion unit for the 22 TCM. That should be a lot of fun. And one thing that will really instill confidence is the full lifetime guarantee on these pistols. Anything goes wrong, they'll take care of it. Tell you what, guys, these guns shot phenomenal. And the accuracy's there, the reliability's there. It's just an exceptional line of pistols. Rock Island Armory has been producing really nice quality 1911s for reasonable prices. And I think that the 22 TCM is actually taking it a step above. In a home defense situation, you may miss them, but you'll probably scorch them with that flame. The Rock Island Armory 22 TCM, full size and compact, thumbs way up. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America, long live the Republic. And then it releases, oh crap, you gotta be kidding me. And it releases your brain because you don't have any focus in the camera. Yes. Making sure you don't release the plug. Well, there I go again. Dadgummit.